that makes sense to us and that we understand and offers good value and where we don't worry about losing. And the one problem with the investment business is that things don't come along in an orderly fashion, and they never will. I mean, it isn't like every day.
Imagine starting with nothing, not even a safety net, and ending up owning your own private island. It sounds like a fantasy, but for a select group of entrepreneurs and investors, this is reality. The journey from zero to extraordinary wealth isn't magic, it's strategy, discipline, and calculated risk. Today, we're breaking down the step-by-step wealth strategy that turns ordinary beginnings into extraordinary assets, showing how billionaires think, invest, and execute to reach a level of freedom most only dream about. The mindset shift. The first step from zero to a private island isn't about money, it's about mindset. Most people measure wealth by what they see, a car, a house, or a bank balance. Billionaires measure wealth by potential, how assets can grow, generate income, and create leverage. Developing a wealth mindset means thinking in terms of systems, investments, and exponential growth rather than immediate consumption. Every dollar earned is a tool, not a trophy. Entrepreneurs who reach extraordinary wealth start by embracing discipline, long-term planning, and a relentless focus on multiplying resources instead of merely spending them. Income generation from zero. Step 2 is creating consistent income streams. Starting with zero requires resourcefulness. Many self-made billionaires began with small ventures, freelancing, service businesses, or trading skills for cash. The key is not the size of the first paycheck, it's the skill of converting effort into capital. Early income should always be reinvested into opportunities that compound value rather than spent on lifestyle inflation. This stage is where the foundation of future wealth is laid. Discipline, frugality, and understanding the mechanics of money. Strategic, saving, and reinvestment. Once income exists, the next step is saving strategically and reinvesting wisely. Wealth creation is not about living lavishly early, it's about maximizing the growth of every dollar. Billionaires often follow a principle of aggressive reinvestment, allocating a high percentage of earnings into businesses, stocks, or real estate that appreciate over time. The goal is not immediate satisfaction, it's building assets that generate passive income and capital gains. For example, an entrepreneur earning $5,000 a month might save 50-70% and reinvest it in side businesses, stocks, or educational assets that increase earning potential. This discipline cycle separates ordinary earners from extraordinary wealth builders. Skill acquisition and education. One critical step is investing in skills and knowledge. Money alone isn't enough, understanding markets, industries, and leverage is what turns capital into empire-level wealth. Many self-made millionaires and billionaires dedicate years to learning high-income skills, business strategy, negotiation, investing, coding, or marketing. These skills increase the ability to spot opportunities, minimize risk, and make high-return decisions. In essence, the first investments are often in yourself, not in luxury assets. Building multiple streams of income. A single source of income is risky. Billionaires diversify early, creating multiple income streams. Business ventures, starting small businesses that scale. Investments, stocks, bonds, and ETFs with growth potential. Real estate, rental properties that generate passive cash flow. Intellectual property, products, patents, or digital content. Diversification ensures stability, accelerates wealth growth, and allows reinvestment into increasingly large opportunities. It's the bridge from a modest income to the capital needed for significant purchases like private islands. Leveraging debt strategically. Smart entrepreneurs understand the power of good debt. While many fear borrowing, billionaires use it as a tool to scale. Leveraging debt allows one to acquire assets faster than savings alone would permit, creating opportunities to generate returns that far exceed the cost of borrowing. For example, a real estate investor might use a mortgage to buy a rental property that produces positive cash flow while benefiting from appreciation. The key is risk management, using debt to amplify returns without jeopardizing the foundation of wealth. Scaling up investments. Once the foundation of multiple income streams exists, the next step is scaling. This stage is about moving from small gains to significant assets that appreciate substantially over time. Scaling strategies include expanding a business to new markets or products, investing in higher value real estate, such as multi-unit buildings or commercial properties, participating in private equity or startup investments with high upside potential. Scaling requires vision, patience, and calculated risk. Billionaires think in terms of exponential growth, understanding that doubling wealth often requires multiplying opportunities, not just repeating small successes. Networking and strategic partnerships. No one reaches a private island alone. Networking is essential. Elite entrepreneurs cultivate relationships with investors, mentors, and peers who provide access to high return opportunities. Strategic partnerships can accelerate growth, reduce risk, and provide insider knowledge that is unavailable to the average investor. Deals often happen not because of capital alone, but because of trust, reputation, and connections built over years of consistent execution. Investing in high-value assets. As wealth grows, billionaires begin acquiring high-value assets, properties, businesses, or investments that offer significant appreciation potential. Real estate in emerging markets, stakes in fast-growing companies, and intellectual property are typical examples. This stage often includes assets that offer both lifestyle and strategic benefits. Buying a luxury property isn't just for comfort, it can generate rental income, provide collateral for further investment, and position the owner in networks of influence. Every asset is carefully evaluated for ROI, scalability, and strategic value, ensuring that the wealth continues to compound. Tax strategy and wealth preservation. Preserving wealth is as important as creating it. Billionaires employ sophisticated strategies to minimize tax liabilities and protect assets. This may involve legal structures such as trusts, holding companies, or offshore entities. By managing risk and ensuring efficient taxation, entrepreneurs maximize the capital available for reinvestment and future opportunities. Smart tax strategy prevents erosion of wealth and allows growth to accelerate toward extraordinary targets like a private island. Acquiring a private island. Finally, the dream, owning a private island. By this stage, the entrepreneur has amassed sufficient capital through diversified income, high-value investments, and scaled ventures. The purchase is never impulsive. It involves evaluating location for personal, investment, and tax purposes, ensuring accessibility and infrastructure for both leisure and potential business use. Considering resale potential or additional revenue streams, like private rentals or resorts. Buying a private island is often both a lifestyle statement and a strategic asset, reflecting decades of disciplined wealth building. It's the culmination of a strategy that began with small income streams, wise reinvestment, and a mindset of exponential growth. Maintaining and growing luxury assets. Owning extraordinary assets like a private island isn't the end, it's part of an ongoing wealth strategy. Billionaires often use properties to host influential partners and deal-making sessions. Develop islands into income-generating ventures, such as eco-resorts or exclusive retreats. Continuously reinvest returns into other high-value assets. The private island becomes not just a reward, but a tool to accelerate influence, income, and legacy building, blending luxury with strategic advantage. Lessons for aspiring wealth builders. The step-by-step strategy from zero to a private island can be distilled into clear principles. Mindset first. Wealth begins with thinking in terms of growth and leverage, not consumption. Start small, scale gradually. Early income streams and investments compound over time. Invest in yourself. Skills, knowledge, and networks are your highest return assets. Diversify income. Multiple streams reduce risk and accelerate growth. Leverage wisely. Good debt multiplies capital, bad debt destroys it. Network strategically. Influence and partnerships open doors that capital alone cannot. Acquire high-value assets. Focus on appreciating assets with strategic benefits. Preserve wealth. Tax strategy, legal protection, and risk management are essential. Luxury as strategy. High-end assets like a private island serve both lifestyle and financial purposes. These steps show that extraordinary wealth is a methodical process, not luck, blending strategy, discipline, and vision. The psychological edge. Building wealth from zero requires more than money. It requires resilience, patience, and decisiveness. Every milestone, from the first small investment to a private island, is a test of discipline and mindset. Entrepreneurs who reach this level excel not because they are lucky, but because they make calculated choices, manage emotions, and stay committed to a long-term vision. The private island is symbolic, a tangible marker of achievement, but it represents decades of strategic thinking, risk management, and relentless action. The legacy factor. For many billionaires, reaching the level of private island ownership isn't just about personal enjoyment, it's about legacy. Wealth is leveraged to influence industries, create generational security, and make philanthropic impact. The private island may host exclusive retreats, innovation summits, or gatherings of top-tier entrepreneurs, turning luxury into a platform for influence and growth. The journey from zero to island illustrates how disciplined wealth creation allows not just personal freedom, but lasting impact. The path from zero to owning a private island is not a fairy tale. It's a roadmap of mindset, strategy, and execution. It begins with discipline, grows through reinvestment, skill acquisition, and diversification, and culminates in assets that reflect decades of strategic decisions. Every step, from the first income stream to the acquisition of a luxury property, is intentional. Billionaires understand that extraordinary wealth is built, not stumbled upon. They turn every decision into leverage, every asset into an opportunity, and every milestone into a platform for greater growth. If you start with the right mindset, take consistent action, and follow a step-by-step strategy, the journey from zero to a private island becomes not just possible, it becomes inevitable. Wealth, strategy, and luxury can work together to transform dreams into reality.